Hello, and welcome to School Health Presents Talkin Tech with Dr. Ray. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something that many of us actually have already in our classrooms or our therapy areas, and those are textured floor tiles. So, one of the things that is a misnomer is the fact that when you have a textured floor tile, aside from this particular one, this shag one being similar to some of the carpeting I had back in the 70s, the presumption is that tiles like this, or like any other carpet tile, would first of all go down on the floor, and that way individuals would interact simply by laying on the floor, touching them with their hands, having them so that they can feel them through their socks on the floor. And that's one way of utilizing these. Another way that some groups utilize tiles like this is to put them on a wall, so you have a textured wall. Both of those are absolutely phenomenal ways to use this. I've seen groups also put them together, especially because you got different textured and different types of colors. Seen them used like puzzles or like different areas where each area you've got something different to do, a stand or sitting or saying something. But what we want to talk about in this Talkin Tech video is how these can be used as a sensory support for any writing or reading activities an individual may be doing at a desk or on their wheelchair tray. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to pull out another different texture here. This is kind of a softer texture, and this one would be great to have on a table or desk just like this, where an individual could rest their hand when they weren't writing or reading something. Why? Because one of the things we begin to see as we're working with both reading and writing skills for those who are going to be writing is that oftentimes just using the hands or just using the eyes still has residual effects in our kinetic energy where we need to have some type of sensory release. Now imagine this, instead of always needing to have some type of a smaller fidget that they might be operating with, kind of like a Tangle Junior in that particular case. What you want to be able to do is create that sensory, in essence, space right there on the table or that, again, wheelchair tray. That way, the individual, as they're working, can rest their hand down and get some feedback. Now, what you want to do is two things. And the reason that I pulled out a different texture here, again, a softer texture, but with less resistance. Why? Because if we've got an individual trying to write something on this can actually become distracting or cause some issues if they were trying to write right on top of it. So find a texture that works. Find a texture that's soft yet still allows for a book to be placed over it, or an individual to rest their hands on it while they're doing some writing, or even using something like a C pen reader pen where they're going across the pages of a book and can rest their hand afterwards as they listen to what's being read. So we want to start taking a look at, again, any of those textured floor tiles or textured floor mats, now taking them not just on the floor or on the wall, but also putting them on a desk or a table where we add sensory input, but we're not forcing an individual to use something beyond what they're already using, a pen, a tangle toy, anything of that nature. So, as always, I thank you for all that you're doing, and I wish you continued success in your classrooms, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road.